Oleksandr Usyk has an exemption from the WBO for 90 days. It does also mean that he has to face the winner of Fabio Wardley versus Joseph Parker. Their fight obviously happened at the end of October in London on pay-per-view. Now that has us thinking that, okay, Usyk is probably going to fight the winner. And he's alluded that he's got one more fight left in boxing. Against whom? That's the question. Is he going to fulfill that mandatory obligation and face Parker or Wardley, depending on who wins? Or, God forbid, could he fight Fury in the trilogy? Joshua? Hardly Joshua. Fury? I mean, it's a big money fight, but who the hell wants to see a trilogy? He hasn't earned it. He's lost twice. And he's retired, apparently. Well, TalkSport. Oleksandr Usyk, I'll be waiting. Oleksandr Usyk delivers frosty response to Jake Paul. Ambitious 5-year plan. Oleksandr Usyk insists he is dead serious about fighting Jake Paul, but wonders whether his rivals feel the same. The pair did face off in Wembley Stadium, I remember that, earlier this year. Usyk is expected to have one more professional bout, after which he will be free to pursue a crossover clash. Yes, he is considering a crossover clash with Jake Paul, even though Jake Paul is a boxer. Well, wait till you hear this, right? The Cats team, that's Oleksandr Usyk's nickname apparently, but no one's ever called him that, Alexander the Cat Usyk. Team director Daniel Lappin has even suggested that the contest could take place in 2026, but Paul's recent 5-year plan placed the fight with Usyk at 5th. After becoming world champion, a billionaire, having 3 kids, getting married to fiancée Jetta Letterdam. I was wondering, I was thinking that's not Usyk's wife's name, it's Jake Paul, obviously, they're talking about. Responding to the video, Usyk wrote, "Good plan at Jake Paul, but I'm not here for 5th place, only 1st. Soon I'll be closing the book on boxing, and after that I'll be waiting for you in the cage. Let's see if you have the," he doesn't say cojones, but that's the word, "or just a hunger for hype." So, Oleksandr Usyk acknowledging the fact, one and done in boxing. That's it. Next fight, gone. See it. Done. He's only got one more fight left in boxing. Right? Soon I'll be closing the book. That's actually sad to hear, isn't it? Oleksandr Usyk closing the book on boxing. Because he has been a staple of, well, boxing for me, certainly, for a decade. It was about 2015 when I first heard of him. That's actually sad. We did one more fight and he's done. Chapter's closing on a lot of fighters, right? In terms of fighters who we've watched over the last decade, it's sad. But him doing a fight against Jake Paul, potentially in a crossover fight, they mean in a cage. So I'll be waiting for you in a cage. That's what he says. Speaking in August, Oleksandr Usyk's business partner said of the Ukrainians' next step, the team is currently working on the next fight. We're looking at a few options, focusing on those who make sense, both sport-wise and in terms of audience interest and status. Almost every fighter has called out Jake Paul, but our story is different. For us, it's about MMA, something non-standard, and that's where its power lies. We're not talking about a boxing match with Oleksandr Usyk, no respect to Jake, but in MMA, the chances are even more. Jake has some experience, while Oleksandr would be quick to adapt. This could become a massive show with a huge global audience. Talks are already underway. If everything lines up, the fight could happen early next year. I mean, I just want to interject. Now, forgive my ignorance on this, right? Honestly, forgive my ignorance. But he says, no disrespect, Jake Paul, the chances are even more. Jake has some experience. Listen, I knew virtually nothing about Jake Paul. Virtually nothing about the guy until he started boxing, right? Him and his brother Logan didn't know who. KSI, again, another one. No flipping idea who he was until he started the whole YouTube boxing thing all those years ago. Anyone who does, did Jake Paul do anything in MMA? I mean, I know his brother Logan is in WWE, but people, that's play acting. It's not MMA, you know? So I know Brock Lesnar made the transition, but you see wrestlers like CM Punk getting ragdolled. So, you know, it is really, you know, MMA is the real deal. So has he experienced in MMA? Would it matter against someone like an Oleksandr Usyk? Because I've always felt like with a fighter, you know, if you can have a defense against ground. I mean, you like Oleksandr Usyk with his hands, you would think striking it would just be yikes against Jake Paul. You would think that. Now, here's the thing, right? I remember, and this is just, when it comes to these kind of gimmicky things and these crossover fights and stuff like that, normally when it's a crossover fight and they do it in boxing, like in Ngannou when he fought Fury, in Ngannou when he fought Joshua Mayweather McGregor, etc., they're normally done in boxing and they're normally done in the boxing rules. And do you know why they're done that way? Because it's more entertaining. Because anytime I've seen like gimmicky kind of fights where it's been, two guys, even if it's two kind of celebs or prominent figures who, instead of going and doing like a boxing event, like a Misfits, they do it in MMA, it's normally dog you know what. There was the fight there back in 2021, and it was by a guy called something Bouncer versus Arms Cullion, I think the guy's name was. People, it was horrendous. It was literally just on the ground the entire time. I think it was 3 5-minute rounds. It was awful. Now, if they were boxing, it wouldn't have been the sweet science on display, but it would have been damn more entertaining than that. So I do kind of worry if they did do that, would it be just a bit of a stinker or would it be anticlimactic? But I wouldn't have much of a problem with Oleksandr Usyk taking on Jake Paul in 2026 in an MMA contest. I wouldn't, provided he wasn't world champion still at the time. Providing, of course, that Oleksandr Usyk has his maybe one more fight in boxing and then decides, right, that's it. I'm an all-time great, undefeated, 2-time undisputed champion, fought the best at number 1 at the time. He didn't fight everybody, he didn't clean the division out in that sense. But if he retires after his next fight, go for it. Honestly, like, I can't begrudge, I can't hate on that. Go for it, yeah, do it. Let's see. I'd watch it, I'd cover it. But don't do it as a world champion. Please don't do it. We had that farcical situation 2 years ago where Tyson Fury, an incumbent world champion, was given carte blanche to not even defend his title, just to have a little gimmicky fight against Francis, and he nearly lost. So please, I hope he's not world champion still if he does this with Jake Paul. But I'd be interested. Would Jake Paul do it? Be a massive payday for both guys. There's no ifs or buts. It'd be a massive payday for both guys. Oleksandr Usyk already has just generational wealth beyond what he could have ever have imagined. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Let me know your thoughts as always in the comment section below. If you could, people, smash the like button, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. I keep forgetting to say that at the start. I need to do that because it reminds people to hit the like and subscribe button. But if you could, I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, people, I'll leave it there. Peace.